In the year 489 AD, the last vestiges of the Western Roman Empire had recently vanished from the earth. King Theodoric reigned as an Ostrogothic king of Italy from the city of Ravenna, located between Florence and Venice. King Theodoric was an Arian Christian, meaning he believed that Jesus was merely a creature, the first and greatest creature perhaps, but not God, not divine. He oversaw the construction of a church still standing today adjacent to his palace and decorated it with beautiful mosaics, for which Ravenna is famous. Among the mosaics of Theodoric, which are visible today, on the left wall is a depiction of Mary sitting on a throne, holding the child Jesus on her lap, flanked by 4 angels. In the 560s, when Orthodox forces from the still thriving Eastern Roman Empire retook Italy from the Ostrogoths, they set about redecorating the basilica, which is now known as Sant'Apollinare Nuovo. This former Arian church needed a statement against their errors, a statement affirming the divinity of Christ, the most important truth denied by Arius. Considering the central role which Ravenna would play in the Eastern Empire's rule there, Agnellus, the new bishop of Ravenna, had an important decision to make. But first, we turn to today's feast. Today is the Epiphany, which takes its name from the Greek for to shine upon, referring to God's divinity shining upon the earth. Isaiah prophesied in our first reading that the glory of the Lord would shine upon Jerusalem. Here, as he did elsewhere, Isaiah personified Jerusalem as a woman, and he described the nations coming before her, guided by this divine light, with kings and their caravans full of gold and frankincense. And in our gospel, of course, Mary represents her entire people, the embodiment of Isaiah's beautiful Jerusalem, receiving travelers from the nations who had followed the light, bearing gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We know these gifts well, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and we might even remember what they signify. Gold was a gift for a king, and it seems the Magi did not understand that the question, "Where is the newborn king of the Jews?" was a dangerous question under the reign of a jealous and violent King Herod, who was constantly paranoid that his throne would be usurped. Knowing the innocent blood that would be spilled in Herod's search for this newborn king, it is perhaps disappointing but not surprising that all of Jerusalem was greatly troubled along with Herod at the arrival of Magi in search of the new king. Myrrh was a very valuable embalming spice, used when preparing a body for burial. Myrrh would be used one day by Nicodemus to prepare the body of Jesus after the crucifixion. This gift was quite a powerful witness that prophesied the importance of the death of this newborn king one day. But frankincense is key in this context. A gift of incense meant to accompany sacrifice in acts of worship points to the divinity of this tiny child. The Magi recognized some of this divinity shining forth in a glorious epiphany. And that was the symbol chosen by Bishop Agnellus of Ravenna. He removed the mosaic to the left of Mary and the child Jesus, resulting in a line still noticeable to this day, and replaced it with a colorful and detailed mosaic of the Magi, following the star and bringing their gifts in adoration to Jesus as a child. This mosaic, which interestingly is the earliest artistic depiction we have of the traditional names of the Magi, Balthazar, Melchior, and Caspar, this mosaic would stand as a perfect witness against the Arian heresy and a testament to the divinity of Christ. The artist also chose to depict the 3 wise men as different ages, one young and beardless, one with a full brown beard, and one with a gray beard and hair. This choice, along with the more common depiction of them, the more common modern depiction of them as being of different ethnicities, points to how the wise men fulfilled our psalm and our second reading. Our psalm says, "Lord, every nation on earth will adore you." And Paul points to all of the Gentiles as co-heirs, co-partners in the promise of Christ Jesus through the gospel. All Gentiles, all the nations, all ages and ethnicities are represented in these magi, coming to pay homage to a king as they did with Solomon of old, but more importantly, coming to worship God as his light shines upon the earth. The Council of Trent rightly used the adoration of the Magi as an image of how we should approach the Eucharist, God present among us in perfect humility. And St. Gregory Nazianzen put well what the mosaic of Ravenna and all depictions of the Magi should remind us. He said, "Let us remain in adoration. And to him who in order to save us humbled himself to such a degree of poverty as to take our flesh, let us offer him not only incense, gold, and myrrh, but also spiritual gifts, more sublime than those which can be seen with the eyes."